I feel like the camera is crooked today, and I guess that's just how it's gonna be. Um, who is still beaming from an amazing weekend of hanging out with fibery people and fibery friends? This guy. I am still on cloud nine. I can't get over the fact that I got to experience my first New York sheep and wool. I'm beaming. I don't want to stop smiling, and I love it. And now I'm back here with you all for another podcast episode. So let's get into it. Take 52. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece for Peace Crafting Podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my crafty corner of the YouTube universe. If you would like to find me on other social media, you can do so by following me at Piece4PeaceCraft on Ravelry and Piece4PeaceCrafting over on Instagram. If you enjoy music and you would like to follow along the playlists that we have, you can find that over on Spotify, and that's Piece for Peace Crafting Podcast playlist. I think that's all the things. How's everyone doing? I am still beaming. So I believe that this video is coming out after the Rhinebeck Woolen Folk recap video. So if you haven't checked that out and you want to hear more about my adventures there, going to that festival, you can click over, and I'll link it below to that video. You can check out all that stuff there. I'm gonna try not to talk about too much of that in this space, so people who aren't really interested don't have to sit through that, and they can just have a regular podcast episode. There are a couple things that I am gonna share from there because I have some fun little gifts that people in the house gave me. And so I didn't show that on that. I'm saving it for here because I thought that this would be a better space for that. Then you all don't have, if you want to see what I bought at both festivals, sorry, I'm still just like, I can't believe it happened. You can check out that video. I won't go through all that stuff here because who has the time? All right, so yeah, my 2 weeks have been crazy. I think the last time I was with you all, I was either going to a wedding or I just went to a wedding. I don't remember now, which was a lot of fun. It was outside. The venue was beautiful. If I'm repeating myself from the last episode, I apologize. Everything is a little bit twisted in my head right now. And then I had to work, which is normal. And then I took some days off and went to upstate New York to go to Woolen Folk and the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. And it was great. It was a magical experience. And the people I shared a house with, we'd been Zooming together for about, I think I joined the group a little bit later. So for me, it's about 2 years, 2.5-ish for everyone. And yeah, we only know each other in the virtual space. And so to get a home together and live together for like 4 days was a little bit like, is this gonna work? And sure enough, we just slid right into it. And there was no awkwardness because we'd gotten out of the way from being online. And yeah, we're like a little family hanging out. A lot of laughing, like a ton of laughing, and some crafting and going and seeing things and just enjoying in each other's company. I need you to not right now. Thank you, sir. Go back over there. Kendrick wants to say hello, but I don't want to pick him up in this sweater, which we will talk about in a minute. So that's pretty much been my 2 weeks. I'm happy to be here in this space with you all again. For those who are only interested in the podcast, if this is your first time checking me out, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. You already know what's up. For those of you who I met while I was away, it was so wonderful meeting all of you. My heart is completely full. It's nice to see people that are on the other side of this watching it, because for me it's just me sitting in a room recording on my phone, and it was nice to make those connections while I was away. So thank you. It means the world. I don't want to cry, but I just feel like the community that we're building here and in other spaces is just so wonderful and full of just like kindness and positivity and people just like wanting to do better for themselves and for others, and that warms my heart. And people just willing to try new things and make mistakes and keep pushing forward. And so much love coming back to you all. For those of you who weren't there, but you said, oh, please just like know that I'm there with you all in spirit, or video so that we can come along with you. Like, I feel that love too, and I hope you all enjoyed that recap video. Okay, with that being said, let's get into it. I actually don't have a lot because the trip took up so much of my time. I didn't get to do a lot of crafting, but I did do some. And I think the last time I came to you was like on a Monday. So like my 2 weeks is a little bit off, and I'm coming to you today on Friday, which is October 21st. You all will not see this until tomorrow on Saturday. I had the house free. We have some guests coming to stay with us, and I was like, oh, I can film right now since they're going to be here tomorrow on Saturday, and I won't have time to. So I'm recording now. It'll come out tomorrow. You all are seeing it then or after. All right. I have 2 FOs and one thing that I'm working on currently. There's another thing that's off to the side. I have a fun thing to show. I swatched for something. And then I have a couple little things that I want to show. Okay, first of all, if you didn't watch the recap video, but you're only watching this, I have to tell you about this mug that I got. So I knew that I wanted to get a little bit of pottery while I was away, and there were some really beautiful things. I mean, like stunning, top of the line, gorgeous, get into it, I love it. And a lot of it was like sheepy or, like fiber related things. There's some like fantasy stuff. Anyway, I saw this mug, it made me giggle, and I was like, okay, great, this is the mug I'm buying. First of all, it's about 5,000 ounces, and oh look, there's a little coffee on it. It says Spaceballs, the mug. I'm screaming, I love it. This was a movie I definitely grew up on. It's so funny. The part where they're combing the desert, I can't get over. If you know, you know. All right, so let's get into, oh my gosh, wait a minute. I feel like it's been ages since I've done this, and it hasn't been that long. Make-alongs. Let's start there, and then I'll get into makes. Sorry, welcome to the Hot Mess Show. Hey. Make-alongs. There is the Westies Unite that I am hosting with Kevin and Ray over at Needles at the Ready. That make-along goes until the end of November. So you have another month and a week to get that done. It's basically make any Stephen West pattern you want. There's threads in on both of our Ravelries. There's like chatter threads, there's FO threads. Go over, chat with people, see what folks are making. Drop your FOs in there. We'll both be pulling prizes from our respective things. There's also a hashtag over on Instagram, which is NATR Piece, like PEACE. And you can use that hashtag, and we're all following it and liking and just seeing all the beautiful things that people are working on. Okay, that's that one. 2 is our Flasher Socks make-along, our year-long make-along, where we wanted to make more socks. So we're getting into it. The last video I said that I was going to wait to pull a name, and because I wanted to get something while I was there. Now, while I was there in New York, at the house we were staying at, people brought yarn. It was like a D-stash for them. They're like, here, we're putting it on the table. It's a free-for-all. I grabbed some stuff. Safe to say, I have a little, prize giveaway pile now, which is great. I'm really excited about that. And if you are out there and you would like to send something for a prize, please feel free to reach out on Insta or on Ravelry. I'll think about setting up a Gmail for this space, but I'm just worried I'm gonna get bombarded with like random things. Anyway, reach out to me in one of those two spaces. Let's find a way to connect. You can definitely send stuff. I would love to give your things away on the podcast. Okay, so I said last time I was gonna pull this episode, pulled a winner. The phone decided that number 221, so I'll pop in a photo here. I believe the Ravelry name is Linda Shields. Get it. They made some fruit stripe gum socks, which I have this pattern in my queue because I've seen Aquila from a Lefty Knitter podcast make these before, and I'm like, oh my gosh, those are so cute. Like, I need a pair in my life. And so that's what they made, and you are gonna get this. It's a September 2022 Downton Abbey Club colorway. They're upstairs, downstairs, and it's this little sock set. Oh, I love it. The purples, and there's a little bit of brownish red in there, or reddish brown, whatever. And a little mini comes with it. So if you reach out, I will reach out to you now that I'm recording this. And I'll reach out to you on Ravelry. Yeah. And get all your info. You can send that to me, and I will be happy to send this along to you. This is one of the things that I got from some folks there, and I was like, I need to just send this away because it's so beautiful and someone should have it. So this is coming your way. All right. All the make-along things are out of the way. Now let's get into it. Let's start with FOs. So the first FO that I finished is my Earth and Dare sweater. This is by James and Watts. I couldn't be more thrilled with this. So I took this with me on my trip and finished. Okay, rewind. So if you have seen people talk about making Rhinebeck sweaters, or folks like going there and things are complete, like walking around with needles in their arms, or just like it wasn't done or whatever, I would watch those in the past, like when I was learning about what this festival was, and being like, well, why can't you just like get it done? Like, granted, I know like things happen, right? And then I was that person. So so literally the night before, I had like 12 more rows to go on one of the sleeves. So I did that, and then I stayed up. Well, it wasn't late for me. It was like till 12, which was 11 my time. Maybe 12:30. And just finished the neckband on it. And yeah, it was done. I could wear it the next day, which was perfect. The only thing is I didn't get to give it like I didn't get to block it where I soaked it. Whereas this one, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I did it with the last one, and I loved the way that it turned out. And Nancy from Trilogy Yarns, she was one of the people staying in the house. She was like, just stick it in the bathroom with you while you're in the shower and hang it up and let it stain block. Amazing. So I did that, and it turned out perfectly. The sleeves are like slightly shorter than I want, so I do think I'm gonna wet block it and just stretch them out just a little bit. I wore it. It was fabulous. Also, I had a bag I was carrying, so I think a little bit of the neckline got a little pulled. So I want to go back in. I have a ton of this mohair left over, and just like fix some parts around the collar. So that is a note to self. Like, if you're gonna wear this, make sure that you like aren't wearing things on top of it, because it is so delicate, being the mohair and the worsted weight done in brioche together. So both of these are KnitPicks. The gray is cobblestone heather, and the green is the aloft. So they're mohair in kanai. I love it. I think the fit is super. If I remember, I'm trying to think if I have a picture of just me wearing this. I don't. Maybe I'll try and snag a picture today. And if so, then I'll pop it in here so you can see what the fit is like. Yeah, I just love it. I got a lot of compliments while I was wearing it. It's light enough where it was a little, I mean, hot. It was like 68. So it was a little warm for a sweater, but because it's so lightweight while I was gone and I was wearing it, it was totally fine. Another thorn that is completely like my bad is, so there's a portion of the pattern where you have to split for front and back, and this isn't giving anything away because it's a bottom-up sweater. And so on the reverse, on the back side, your salvage edge ends up being the mohair. And I think because I was trying to get it done quickly for the events and travels, I wasn't making that salvage as tight as I would have liked. I think I get a little bit nervous with the mohair and worried that it's gonna like snag or whatever. So anyway, when I went to pick up the sleeves in the back, it just picking up the mohair, because there was more space there as opposed to in the, where is it? In the front here, you're picking up with the gray, it's a little tighter. And then in the, oh, you can see it here. In the back, it becomes a little bit loose. That's completely my bad. So what I'm gonna do is go in again with the mohair and just do like a little whip stitch or what's it called? Mattress stitch, just to close that up a little bit so that it's fine. I wore it all day. It was totally fine. A couple people were like, something's happening. And I was like, oh no, it's just my salvage edge wasn't tight enough. So if you end up making this pattern, I would say just be careful of that and make sure that you are keeping that edge a little bit tight, or go into one of the stitches from the gray from the previous row as you're going to pick those up, so you won't run into that problem too. It wasn't really a big deal for me. I knew that it was there and I could still wear the sweater and it was totally fine. But I am gonna make those adjustments now that I'm back home, and I will be wearing this a lot more now. So I think I'll fix these little parts just from me being a little bit rougher than I should have been with it, or not doing things tightly enough. And then I'll give it a wet block, and yeah, it'll be good to go. I couldn't be more happy with it. My roommate and I now have matching sweaters, which is so funny. She loves hers and I love mine now. So that's the first object that I finished. Thing two, y'all, when I tell you, I was so happy to have this done. Oh, I like just sat and stared at it and was like, you were a great knit, but you were on the needles longer than I would have liked. So my next thing is I finally finished my lava lake. Thank you so much for cheering. I can hear your claps. Thank you. That means the world to me. So I finished my lava lake. It's blocked. The ends have been woven in. I actually was weaving them in as I was going. And yeah, this is like good to go. Let me find the front side for you all. All right, so again, this is using all Ryan yarn. Of course, I didn't bring the tags in here. It's 100% superwash merino. I don't remember the yardage. It was a 5 skein fade. So here's this. So it started here and then it trailed into here. And then the middle, and then it does the reverse. Now, I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, and the way that you do the second half of the pattern, the fade is slightly different. And I believe Kevin did this as well. I just stuck with what the fade was in the beginning because I wanted it to be symmetrical. So I just did that. And it works out fine because you have a ton of yarn left over. Of course, that yarn isn't in here because it's in a bag somewhere in this house. But there was a lot left over. So if you're thinking about making it, just know like you will have leftovers and you'll be quite all right. Especially of this middle color, you use like none of it. So I'm gonna try not to hit the mic, but oh my gosh, are we loving it? Now I'm sitting down and it's like sitting in my lap. It's huge. Let me put this on top of it. Just gonna move this so that there's not a lot of moving around. Okay, so stunning, gorgeous, I love. It's so great. It's really light. This was knit on US 5s. Oh, this sweater, by the way, is 10.5. Huge. So it works up very fast. This was done on a 5, so it's a little bit lighter, like just the stitches are further apart. And I love the little yarn over detail that happens throughout it. I think the colors are beautiful. I'm really, really happy with the way that it turned out. Sorry, I want that in the front. I'm super excited with the way that it turned out, and I'm going to take some photos of it. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm hot. It's like a sweater and this and a hat in my apartment right now when the heat's on. It's a no. I'm gonna take some photos of it and then I'm gonna decide later if I'm gonna keep it. I may give it away to a friend, but I'm not 100 on that yet. It's like, I have a lot of shawls, but I wear them all. So sometimes I'm like, do I need another one? The answer is always yes. Right. Anyway, this is my Lava Lake. It's by Stephen West. I'm so happy that it's finished. And yeah, now I can, oof, y'all, I need a sip. Oh. Now that this is done, I can focus on the MKAL. Because if I'm, let me put this on the floor. Because if I'm being honest, I am still on clue 1. I need to start the repeat. I'm basically at the beginning. It's like I had too many things on the needles to focus my attention on that. And I left to go on a trip. I brought it with me thinking that I was gonna like work on it. And it was like, no, you have things to do. You have people to chat with, to catch up with. We're sitting around a fire pit. I'm not working on that. I need socks. I need mindless activities to do while I'm hanging out with these people. So now that I'm back, I am gonna start chugging away at that because I really want to get it done or get caught up, whatever. I'm on my time. I'm embracing my own pace. All right. Those are all my finished objects. Whip, which I'm kind of counting as a finished object, you'll see why in a second, is, child, these socks that I've been working on that I know y'all are tired of seeing. These are my vanilla socks where I just am doing the Magic Heel by the Autumn Acorn. They're done. Friend, don't go jumping up on me. You're gonna knock this camera over. Go lie down over there. Thank you. Look at all this green. That'll be my screenshot. It probably won't be. They're pretty much done. I'm literally doing the ribbing. I have a few more rows to go of that, and then these are done. I'm not gonna show these again because I'm gonna finish these probably today on the bus, and then try them on, make sure they fit, and then I'm gonna see if they fit my roommate, and then I'm gonna give them to him because why not? So the heel, which I'm excited to see how it fits, but I did love just like knitting away. Not worrying about, okay, well, this is where I have to cut it in, because I do love an afterthought heel. Cut it in, or like, I just didn't have to worry about the heel. It was just like knit, 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 do something fun, continue knitting. Now I'm on the ribbing. So yeah, this is using KnitPicks Felici, and I want to say that the color is Bayou. I'm right. This is the Bayou colorway. I absolutely love it. I think it's so fun. I like the big chunky stripes mixed in with the little ones. I think I said this last time, I just pulled from the middle of each ball and just started. I knew they weren't going to match. And the colors are upside down from one another. So the dark green is on this one, and then the light green starts on that one, which I think is kind of fun too. Yeah, these are great. So these are almost done. I'm gonna finish those today, and then I can pick back up my, what's the name of those? The Kumiko socks. I haven't worked on those, so I'm not gonna show those either. It's been kind of crazy around here. So, and I was just thinking, oh, when these are done, I should cast on another pair of socks, but like I need to finish the other socks that are already cast on. So I'll start working on those. I'll get back into the MKAL. And, okay, you all, the last thing that I'm probably gonna cast on, like, very, very soon, definitely this weekend, is, all right, remember when I was telling you all about, let me find it for you, this Maya sweater by, I want to say her name's Emma. It is, by Emma Janet. It's this pullover that's in the latest issue, so issue 42 of Pom Pom Quarterly, right? This sweater, I remember opening up the magazine and I like actually gasped. I was like, oh my gosh, like that is stunning. So I have to have it. I just do. There was a time when I thought like sweaters weren't gonna happen for me. Like, oh, that would be cool, but like I probably won't be able to do it. And so that was like, what, no, that has to be like 3 years ago now. Maybe it was like 3 years ago. And I just randomly started making, I was like, I'm gonna try. Started making them, loving, and now I'm like, okay, this one's done. Great, now I can cast on the next one. And it's a little bit problematic. For me, at least. But remember I showed you, oh my gosh, I still have to do a full haul video. Remember I showed you all, I have that Rowan felted tweed. Like I already have plans for what sweater that's gonna be. Anyway, I wanna make this sweater, the Maya pullover, out of the newest issue of Pom Pom, and I bought yarn for it. I'm gonna use this, oh, look, it's been rolling on the floor, so it's a little, let me just take those off. I'm using this Let Lopi, and the two, so these are 50 gram balls. It's a worsted weight, although it's a little bit, I think it's thin for a worsted, but whatever. And so it's 109 yards for 100 grams. Oh no, for 50 grams, sorry. 109 for 50 grams. And they're just like color, or numbers for the colors on it. Anyway, it's like a dark navy and a light blue. Love these. So, you all, oh my God. Last night I decided, oh, you know what you're gonna do while you're like uploading videos and you're working on editing the Rhinebeck video, you can start swatching. Just see how far you get. Okay, so I swatched, and in this pattern, you have to steek at a certain point, like a couple places, right? So I was like, oh, well, I've never steeked anything before, but I have cut in like a heel, so I'm assuming it's like similar, right? Except, yeah, it's similar. Like, I'm just gonna cut the yarn, do something to it, pick up stitches, keep going. So when I was looking at the requirements for the like to do a gauge swatch, I thought normally I would knit and then carry the yarn in the back and then just keep going so I could make one flat thing. For this, I decided to, which this is nothing new. Like I've seen other people do it and I was like, oh, you should just do that. It'll be easier. Is I cast on, let's say if it said like you need, I don't know, 20 stitches per 4 inches, I cast on double that amount plus 4 stitches. So whatever it was, I did double that plus 4. So I could make a little steek area for myself in between. And then I would have like doing the thing twice because I wanted it to do the color work chart or whatever. So I picked one of the charts and I did it twice, and then I cut the steek, and I think you have to felt it. Don't quote me on that. But I bought my roommate a felting kit from Going Gnome last Christmas, so we have the needles here. Watched a quick video, cut that bad boy, felted the edges of it, steam blocked it. Y'all, oh my God. Here's my swatch. Are you ready? Like, I'm still gagging over it. Okay, here we go. What? Are you freaking out? I know you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. We're all freaking out together. Wait, I think I need to look at the sweater so I know which is which is up and which is down. So if I'm looking at the sweater, I'll show it again. I know you're like, please hold it back up because it was so beautiful. 1 second, friend. I have to find the photo. Okay, so this has these going, oh, like, wait, is that right? Yeah, like this. Okay, cool. So the pattern will go like this. Oh my God, it's so good. So I don't think that I'm very good at color work. Or not, let me retract that statement. I am learning to get better at color work. I'm currently struggling with. That's what I tell my kids all the time. Don't say you can't, say you're currently struggling with. Currently struggling with. I did this swatch, worsted weight, which I think is like just a heavy DK if I'm being honest. And it's so good. Like everything lays flat, everything feels amazing. All the stitches look great. Not that I'm like boasting myself, but I was like super proud of myself for this. So I'm like, just like, I can't even speak. So excited to start this project. It's beautiful. And just imagine it all over as a sweater. Are you freaking out? Because I am. So this is lovely. On the back, yeah, I just felted the little edges. I didn't even do like a crochet anything. I literally spread it, cut, flipped, felted, steamed it. Because I'm gonna steam the sweater in the end. I'm not gonna wet block it. This seems very heavy and I don't wanna like mess things up. So I was like, you know what, just do the steam block. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. The floats in the back look stunnalicia. Yeah, I think just what I've learned from doing this swatch, now watch when I go to make the sweater, it won't be the case, is that I know I do a lot of comparisons to like dance and crafting, but it's like you just have to practice something, right? And then hopefully you get better at it. Sometimes we don't get as well as we want to be at it, but like we're getting better every single time. And so just from like the couple colorwork things I've done and now doing this, I can already see the progress that I've made in just like trying to do something, right? So I'm super oh my God, it just looks so beautiful. So gorgeous. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be very my vibe. And it's all over color work. So like, who am I? Who am I? All right. So this is definitely coming up. That's all the things I've been working on. I do want to show you all just a couple things if you can bear with me for like a hot second. So, what? Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. So while I was gone, I get a package in the mail. And I'm like, weird, what is this? Like, I definitely didn't order anything because I was spending all of my money at, not all, I bought a little bit, at festivals, at Wool & Folk, at Rhinebeck. Anyway, I got this package from KnitPicks out of the blue. 3 of the things that are in it I will show later once it's closer to the time that they're going to be released, because in the box it said I could show them, but I'm going to wait because I don't want people to be going there and then be like, oh my gosh, I can't get it, blah, 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 all that jazz. Anyway, I'll just tell you, it's 3 new yarns. They're stunning. But another thing that they sent me was completely gagged, is they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. And so they sent, I'm still freaking out. They are releasing a new needle set. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, they sent me a couple of needles to try. That's very kind of them. Like, that's so sweet. Honey, no. A whole case. So it comes in this really dope case. I actually kind of like this color. It's giving me very purse first. Like, yes. But on the inside, it opens up a little zipper pocket for you to put, I don't know, whatever you want into it. And then the inside, it's a whole set. What? Of needles. Now, I believe it goes from 4 to 10.5, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, wait, maybe it doesn't. 1 second, please. Let me pull one out and see. This is, an 11. 11, 10 and a half, 10. Yeah, so 4 through 11. And the needles, if you can see, they alternate in color. So like in various shades of purple. So you always know which needles go together. Great. Also in this set, it came with some cables. I haven't even opened these, and stitch markers. Amazing. Now the reason I'm showing you this is, and they're wood needles, which I'm excited to try. I think I'm gonna do one of my sweaters. I think I'm gonna do one of my sweaters with these needles, just so I can try them out, because I only work with metal needles, and yeah, I thought that would be cool. What was I gonna say about these? Yeah, so it's an interchangeable set. It's available now. I think these came out on the 19th of October, so you can totally go and check them out. Huge thank you to KnitPicks for sending these to me. I'm really excited to try them, and it comes with this case. Amazing. Go and check it out. I will show the other things, in my next episode, because it'll be closer to when those are going to come out, and I think you all will really like those too. But this is dope. Also, now I have a second set of needles, so I can have more projects, which is obviously something I just complained about and I don't need in my life, yet here we are. I'm going to be casting on more things. So that was thing 1. Okay, thing 2 is just a little show and tell. So while I was away, like I said earlier, a bunch of people brought things, threw them on the table, said take them for prizes, for whatever. And then because I was staying with a bunch of crafty people, there were 11 of us, a lot of folks made things for, or brought things for people in the house, which, like, crying. So just a couple of things I wanted to show. My friend Lucy knows that I spin, and so she got me some Phoenix fibers, and this is 80% merino and 20% silk. So I thought that was so pretty, so kind of her. She also got Kendrick a little ball, which he is obsessed with, has not stopped playing with it since I got back. So this fiber, it's 2 ounces. Really excited to spin this up and see what this looks like. Actually, I'm gonna put that there. It can live with all the other fiber. She also got me a mug, which you all will see at some point because I'm always drinking something. Then my friend Carrie from the Creative Obsession podcast, okay, this was crazy. She ice dyed a bunch of fabric and made project bags for all of us. Are you crying yet? I am. And so she's like, oh, I know that you do your sock knit along, or you're doing your sock knit along. You should take one as a prize. So, sorry to Linda, in the next pull, which will be the last pull of the year, so you got to make it fun. I'm gonna decide. Hold up. Which one of these will be coming? Oh my God, this one's so beautiful, and they're different on both sides because it's ice-dyed fabric. Are you screaming? I can hear you. I'm screaming. What? So one of these bags will be coming your way along with a skein of yarn. How exciting. That'll be our last Flasher Socks prize. One of these bags and some yarn. So sweet, so generous. Then Chip and Aaron from Fiber Hustle, they are ridiculous, and they made each of us, I think a few of us got the same, but not, there were like a couple colorways. Anyway, Aaron's dyeing yarn, he dyed up this beautiful color. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of it now. It's after a Counting Crows album, I know that. Anyway, he dyed this. He talked about this on their last podcast. I think it was a live. And the black speckles in it when he was dyeing it were the F and H, like Fiber Hustle. And so then they ended up being just fun little speckles throughout. And Chip made these little baskets. So I finally have a mini Chip basket. These are not for sale. Don't go bothering him. These are all prototypes. Everyone's checking them out and like seeing what the vibe is. Oh my gosh, I have one other thing. I have to go and get it. I'll have to pause and go and get it. Yeah, I love this. So I'm gonna cake this up and then it'll fit perfectly inside. And on their last episode, they were joking that people could meet them at Rhinebeck behind the barn. They never specified which one. Hilarious. And they made these little progress keepers that say, I'm at Fiber Hustle behind the barn. I don't know if that will focus. I'm gonna say I'm gonna cover my face, but that's not gonna do anything. Anyway, they're really cute. So happy I got to have one of those too. I'm gonna use that a lot. And actually, the other thing that I was gonna pause, I'll just wait. I'll show you next time. I'm lazy, I don't feel like getting up. And then lastly, Nancy at Trilogy Yarns was also with us, and she is crazy. Before we left, she asked everybody what their favorite colors were, what colors they were into. And so you can't get this, don't go asking her for it. She made all of us a sock set called Zoom Besties Rhinebeck 2022. And it has like all the colors that everyone said that they liked on the inside of it, speckled throughout. Just so sweet. So these were just some of the goodies. If you're interested in what I got like at the festival, again, you can check out the recap video. There, because let's keep them separate, right? Shall we? Yeah. So I think that's it, y'all. It's been such a wild ride. So I'm gonna make some mental notes. There are a couple things that I need to show you all next time. Yarn, I have another really dope thing that I got while I was away that I forgot to bring because it's literally sitting on my coffee table in use right now. Like since I got it, it's been in use. But don't worry, I will show you next time. And yeah, sorry, there's so many long pauses today. I'm just so grateful and humbled by the experience that I had of meeting folks and getting to talk to people. And that's even in the comments here too, right? Like, I love, even though from the last episode I'm a little bit behind, things have been busy, so I'm gonna go and catch up on all of that. But just that people are taking time out of their day to spend a little bit of time with me, while they craft and do what they love to do to relieve stress or to ease their mind, or just as a hobby. And I do the same thing, and I know what that does for me, and so I don't take for granted that I am in some small way able to do that for you all. My heart is full, and I wasn't expecting it to be as full as it is, but I'm very appreciative of all of you. So thank you so much for continuing to support and tuning in or sharing with your friends about my little goofy podcast. And hopefully feeling inspired to just like try things. Like, I tell that to my kids all the time that I teach too. Like, it's fine if like you don't know if you're into this, but like all I want you to do is try. That's all we can do, right? And then you'll learn something from the experience, and then you move on. Maybe you really love it. Maybe you're like, I tried it, but it wasn't for me. But at least we're trying, right? And not just brushing things off because we think, oh, well, that looks entirely too hard. Well, says who? Says somebody else. Or you just hyped it up to be a certain way. And like, I don't know. I'm just such a big cheerleader. You can do it. You can do it. Put your back into it. You can do it. You can do it. So, with that, over the next 2 weeks, I want everyone to just try something. See what happens. If you don't like it, it's all good. And if you love it, sweet. Now you have another thing that now you're obsessed with. All right, you all. That's all I have for this episode. I hope everyone has an amazing 2 weeks, and you continue to just find things that bring you joy. And until I see you next time, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.